Whoa, Brando! Like, we have a new show now.
Yeah, Nate, it's crazy where our journeys have taken us.
Yeah, life is crazy, but, what exactly are we gonna talk about?
Comics?
Taken.
Wrestling?
Taken.
Video games?
That too.
Politics?
Too boring.
Oh, shoot.
Doctor Who!
Too British.
Yeah, fine. What if we just riff and tell stories about our life experience?
That's just crazy enough to work.
How does, Every Other Friday sound to you?
Dude, I'm down. Guys, check out our new show, The OGs, only on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network.
Production.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to Podcastrophe. You can find us by searching Podcastrophe on all of your favorite podcasting platforms like Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and more. You can also find us at JourneyIntoComics.com. We drop a new episode every single Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to Podcastrophe to get the show and exclusive content. We record each episode live every Tuesday around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and you can watch that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just follow Podcastrophe on any of those platforms, and be sure to chat with us. Also, be sure to check out the Journey into Comics Network and all of its amazing shows. Now, on with the show!
Jesus, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent.
This is Podcastrophe with Dick and Tyler, and we're coming at you with a fistful of heritage on a podcast where anything goes and there are no safe spaces. This is Podcastrophe.
Like it, love it, ye! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Podcastrophe, episode 101. That's 101. I'm your host, Dick. Tyler's not here. Matt's not here. It's just you and me, Miranda.
How do you feel about that?
Feel pretty good. I always like doing shows with you.
It can be fun.
They tend to be fun. They tend to be pretty popular.
Yay, people love me.
Yes. Yes, they do. You're a very likable person. Lovable person. How are you today? You had a rough day.
I did.
I had a really easy day.
No, mine was shitty.
I mean, it sucks because work keeps cutting us short, and it's so hard to sit because all we have to do is like clean things.
We've cleaned so much, and there's nothing left
you
to
can
clean.
only clean so much.
Yeah, I get that.
And when you've already cleaned everything there is possible to clean, and then second shift also does that, which they don't, by the way.
So why are they even running second shift if you guys are going home early?
So we're going home early, so second shift can come in and run at least some.
So they're not working a whole shift either?
No, they're not. And they're basically everybody's just going home on their shift too. Nobody's really staying that we can tell. So if they are, they're also cleaning or hopefully cleaning. So we come in and we have to clean some more, but they cleaned and we cleaned, and it's just extra clean and we can't do anything. So now we got to find stuff to do, and it's really difficult to do that every single day.
I almost wish I had a job like that sometimes. I don't think I've ever had a job where there's not something to do.
Yeah.
I've always been in the medical field, so there's always something to do. Yeah.
I mean, this isn't the typical.
I know.
Like,
it has happened a couple times since we've been together.
It's happened a couple times. It's all about production needs.
But here soon you'll be working all the time, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the way we've been down. Like, things are going to change.
That's what Matt said. Matt said that you guys are building up to living there again.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So
which is good before Christmas.
Because we've had so much downtime and we're very behind schedule, and we are like the sole producers of the Outback in the world. Mm-hmm. So like we're so far behind that and we didn't have any scheduled Saturdays until October, that's more than likely going to change.
Loki hair in my mouth.
Way to go. Yeah, that's more than likely going to change. We're going to live there. And
Make that money.
Yep.
Birthday's coming up.
I'm ready for it.
Christmas coming up.
I'm ready for it. Yeah. So I've
forget
been
this
going
year.
home early. You're kind of on a new schedule.
Not really.
I mean, you kind of are.
No.
You told your boss you only want to work so many days because of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I requested these 2 days off since school started. Yeah, I put in a request for
okay.
Monday and Tuesday because the babies went to school yesterday.
Yeah. Want to talk about that?
Sure. What do you want to hear?
Talk about it.
I don't know.
Talk about their first days of school.
It was emotional.
Yeah.
She cried, he cried, I cried, we all cried. It was an emotional day.
Yeah.
No, I knew Maverick would cry. I feel like I'm repeating myself to you. So it's going to be awkward.
That's okay.
Telling you this.
Tell the audience
That
this.
you already know this. They don't know this. So, Nazira, I was shocked that she cried. Well, first, I had a plan to walk her down first and then him. But we got in there a little bit early, so they made us go to the cafeteria and wait until they called. Okay, Loki. Until
There was a gnat. I was trying to catch it.
that's why it went by me. I was like, we need Loki down here. But, so we went to the cafeteria and waited, and Maverick was excited the whole way to school. The entire way. He's like, I'm so excited. Yeah. The moment we walked in that the cafeteria, he clung onto my leg. And then I sat down in a lunch chair, and he got behind me and, like, choke held me. Like, he got his arms on my neck and just, like, held tight. I wouldn't let go. So, of course, they didn't do it how I planned on taking her first and then him. They called kindergarten first. I'm like, shit. So, we walk him to I walk him to his classroom. I don't know where Michael, I don't know what he was doing. So I take him into the classroom. He would not let go of me. He wouldn't sit down. Finally, I was like, sit down. I'll take a picture for Moo Moo Papa. He sat down, but hit his face.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah, I didn't want to post him, but at the same time, it was the only one I had of him at his desk.
Yeah.
It was sad, and I got teary-eyed, and I saw Michael start walking by, and I was like, wait, I want to go with her too. So I told him, I said, stay here, Mommy will be back to check on you. You know, put your bag away. So, walked down to her classroom. She's so excited. Well, he didn't have his bag, that's right, because it got left at school.
Yeah, that's right.
For open house. She had her bag. So we walk into her room. I was like, go find your name on the hook, put your bag up. And then I said, go find your desk, because I don't remember where I sit. I said, well, go find your name. So I walked over to her desk, sat her down. I walked over to her teacher to give her the letter saying that she's going to be parent pickup. And next thing I know, Nazira's like right behind me, squeezing onto me. And she looked scared. I was like, what's wrong? I said, let's go sit down. She looked like she's going to start crying. So, again, I don't know where Michael was. He was talking to somebody. And I walk her back over to her desk. I sit her down. I was like, you're going to have so much fun. I said, look, they had a picture, like a first day picture to color. It was a little boy and a little girl. And I said, look, you can color it to be you and Maverick. And I was like, you're going to have fun. And she starts crying then. And she goes, I can't. And then that broke my heart. So I started crying. And then finally Michael walks over and was like, what's wrong? I was like, she's crying and I'm crying. Finally, I got her. I felt so bad because I told her, I will be back to check on you. I shouldn't have said that because I couldn't go back to check on her because they had already closed the door. And
You betrayed me.
yeah,
You
yes,
abandoned me.
The first fucking thing she said to me when I picked her up yesterday was, you didn't come back, Mommy. She remembered. I was like, they wouldn't let me. I felt so bad. Because if anybody's going to remember it, she's going to remember it.
Yeah, of course.
But no, so then I walked with Michael. We were going past Mavericks, and I looked at him. I said, if he's not crying, we're walking by. If he's crying, we'll stop. Sure enough, of course, you saw his desk. It's right there at the door.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I go by, and he's fucking hyperventilating. Nobody's talking to him. Teacher's not talking to him. He's just sitting there. And I'm like, fuck. So I raced in there as the only mom in there.
Why wasn't the teacher talking
I
to
don't
him?
know.
Like,
That's what I said. This teacher's not as heartfelt and warmy as Mrs. Mash. She's more. Let me just get to what pissed me off.
like why didn't the teacher notice that this kid's clearly
Hyperventilating in
not
her
having
class?
a good time?
Yeah, and he was the only one he's the only one crying. So she's just standing, and I was like, no other moms were in there. I know they were getting ready to start. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going in there. So I held him. I said, you'll be okay. I said, I promise you'll be okay. I give him a hug and a kiss. I said, I'll pick you up. I start leaving. Of course, I'm like crying. And he runs to the door, and the teacher's like pushing him back. No, no, no. And she's like, okay, one more hug. And she let him hug Michael and let him hug me. And as Maverick's screaming for mommy, the teacher's like, we gotta go now, and shuts the door in his face. And I'm like, you bitch. Broke my heart.
Tough love right there.
Oh, it was.
It was necessary.
It was, but oh God. And of course I cried all the way home. And then all I did yesterday while they were in school was, of course, look up like babies growing up poems and like all these quotes. Like a pathetic person. But it did. It made me cry. Every time I read these quotes, I cried because it's so true. It goes by so fast. And I feel like just yesterday they were it'd tiny babies, and like I see memories pop up on, well, of course one memory was a cute little video of Nazira singing Frozen when she was like 2. And it's so crazy. But today was a better day. I walked in, no tears. Maverick willingly sat down, let me leave him, and it was all good. So much better.
Good. That's good. Do you remember your first day at kindergarten?
I do. I cried.
Yeah.
I cried.
Wow.
I cried because I left my boxes of Kleenex at home, and I thought I was going to get in trouble. And I did. Yes.
That would be it.
I left my boxes of Kleenex because I don't think when I was in elementary we had open house. Like
No.
we brought our school supplies the first day of school.
Yep.
And I remember we were bringing out, and I remember it was a traumatic day, clear as day. We got everything, and I left my Kleenexes, and I cried to my teacher. And I remember in my classroom they had this little room, like I don't even know what it was. It was a little room inside the classroom, like a private room. And I remember my teacher's helper taking me in there and talking to me and saying, it's going to be okay. And this is a half-day kindergarten. But, yeah, I did. I cried.
I don't remember my first day at all, which is
Probably
crazy.
because it wasn't traumatic.
No, it wasn't. It was just a normal day. I mean, I remember kindergarten. I remember some of the things we did in there, and I remember like my room had its own bathroom, and that was really cool. I thought.
Nazira's had its own bathroom. Maverick's doesn't.
I remember. Do you remember like the letter people?
Yeah. What letter person were you?
Oh, we didn't get
You
assigned.
dress up?
No,
Oh,
I'm talking about like when we were learning the
Yeah.
letters. We had like those little balloon
Yeah.
letters, and there'd be a video or something with
Right.
them.
Which they do that
The
here.
first letter we learned. Do you remember your first letter?
No. You don't go in order?
No, for some reason we went like just really weird out of
I don't know
order.
if they go in order either. I don't know.
We started with M.
M for Miranda.
Yeah.
It was a sign. No, I don't remember. But no, we got to dress up as a letter person, and mine was B. I chose B.
Gotcha.
And my mom made a shirt with buttons.
Blaine.
Meant to be. No, B for buttons.
Gotcha.
But no, do I remember last year when Nazira picked L? I did her ladybug.
Yeah, that's
lace, and they did a parade. But yeah, it was exciting. I had something else I wanted to say. Oh, I think it was in first grade, not kindergarten, when we did the bear with the corduroys. Wore the corduroys. Oh my God. What was it?
I don't know.
The gingerbread man hunt. We did that. But
Gingerbread man hunt.
at Prairie, and I think it was first or second grade, or maybe it was even kindergarten. They had the
I went to-
gingerbread man.
I went to Hillcrest where we did normal things.
We did fun activities, okay? And they
Yeah.
had to go around. There was a gingerbread man, cookies baked somewhere.
Did you ever have like that one dude that's like really like big into like dangerous animals and all that come? Like there's this guy. We always had a convocation at least like once a year.
Oh yeah, when he brought snakes. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and the Gila monster, and he'd been on. He would always talk about how he'd been on Oprah.
That book.
Okay,
You don't remember that?
I remember looking at it. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember that guy. I remember that was like one of the highlights of my year every year was seeing that guy come, and the cool thing about like that was for some reason like they allowed parents to come to that at our school. So like my dad would come and watch with me, and that was always really neat. Oh shit, we got Ryan Cornwall in here.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Chat us up, or come here and crash this. Who cares? It's fun.
We got beer.
Yeah, we got beer.
No, I love convocation. Is that what they called? That sounds so bad. Like
I
weird
remember
saying
there was
it.
like a few years ago, for whatever reason in my head, I was trying to find that word.
That word. It sounds weird saying it as an adult.
Yeah, I was trying to find that word. I was
Convocation.
like,
That doesn't sound right.
I was like, what did we call these things?
Is that what it is?
And I couldn't. For the life of me, I couldn't think of the word. And then, like, not long ago, I remembered it, and it didn't matter
What
anymore.
is it again? Convocation.
Convocation.
That sounds wrong. That doesn't sound like right. What did you say?
That and the guy that did the electrical demonstration. Yeah, the RAMC dude. I think that was Kyle Price's dad.
Yeah, we had the guy that came in with the creature. Oh my god. We need to get a VHS player. Because my parents, growing up, they took tons of pictures, tons of videos. I love it. That's why I want to get a camcorder. I freaking love it. Because when I was 10 years old, or maybe 9, I don't know. I hope I was younger than what I actually was, because it would be embarrassing. Oh, God. But no, I remember we had a convocation of this mime. He came, and oh my God, it was fucking hilarious. I mimed out everything. I went home that day, told my parents, hey, we had this mime, and of course I had this young little kid that wanted to show my parents everything. So I fucking dressed up, I put the makeup on, and my parents videotaped me miming, and then it got to be where everybody was miming. My parents were miming, the Tater and Colin were miming. It was so much fun. We need to get a VHS player because we have so many funny videos.
Yeah. I'm sure they're not hard to find
Let's get one.
or find on the internet.
My dad
and
was
buy.
just talking the other day about getting one because there was a video he said he wanted to show somebody. I don't remember, but oh my God, I totally love growing up having all those memories.
Ryan says, welcome to 2019 where we don't need camcorders.
No.
He's right. We have our phones.
Yeah, but see, the problem with phones is nobody fucking takes the time to get them off of your phone and onto something. I like the DVD camcorders where you can physically have that copy there. Because, face it, we're busy people, we're lazy, we're not going to go put that on our phones.
Nobody takes the time, you're right, because we can just the main way we view things is through like Facebook or YouTube or our phones, so we upload it instead of putting it on physical media.
I know, but I have...
So, I mean, basically you're saying you're one of those people that that doesn't take the time.
Because I don't have the time. Yeah, that's true.
Well,
So
getting a camcorder, which all are digital now.
No, there are still some DVD ones.
Very few.
There still are.
And they're very obsolete.
Anyway, I try to, there's that free prints app, which I used to do it all the time. I need to do it more, where you pay like shipping and handling and they send you so many like 4x6 pictures a month or something. I need to do that more because, again, my parents took tons of pictures and that was back in the day when you had to go get them developed.
Yeah.
So you haven't even seen half of the photo albums my parents have. And I love that as an adult. I know there are people out there, Tyler, that don't like pictures. But I like the fact that I can show when my kids get older pictures of when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Other than scrolling through, because not everybody likes to scroll through pictures on like computers and stuff. I like.
Oh, my mom has a million photo albums too.
So does my mom. Oh, you mean physical albums?
Yeah.
I thought you meant on the computer because now she's got tons on her computer. But
yeah, I don't know how much she does physical pictures anymore, but yeah, she has like a million albums of. She has like a couple albums per child. There's 4 of us plus all the other ones. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I definitely miss like getting the little disposable cameras and taking around. Like you can ask Ryan. I would take him to school all the time and just take a million pictures and go get them.
I don't know if they held a million pictures on that.
No, usually roughly about 30, 20 to 30. If we go through one of those totes, I guarantee I can find some from like 7th and 8th grade. Good stuff. Back when Ryan was fat.
That right?
Cheers, buddy.
No, we do need to go through those totes though.
So yeah, it's just you and me today.
Just you and I, me and you.
Me and you and I. So you had a rough day.
I did have a rough day. My car blew up basically.
It's still running though.
Thankfully. No, okay. What do you say?
I said Mr. Anderson's class got us started on that, developing pictures.
No.
That was high school. But yeah, he goes destroy that footage. Yeah, that was high school. I loved the photography class because they actually taught us how to develop pictures. It's over there.
I know.
What are you drinking over there?
Hold on. I don't have my
Oh yeah, you don't have your microphone. She's drinking Ace Pineapple Craft Cider.
Delicious.
It's all natural, no sugar added. Don't know the ABV of it.
Oh, 5%. More
It's
than Bud Light.
delicious. It's delicious.
It is. Yeah, I had a bad day. Dropped the kids off at school. That went well. Halfway home on 26. And this is what happened. So I was in front of, or behind this big semi that was going slow. But of course, at that time in the day, it's super fucking busy on 26. I had Kaylee behind me riding my ass. Smoking a cigarette, by the way. Hilarious. Riding my ass, kept trying to fucking pass. And every time she tried to pass, there was a car coming. Well, I was getting fucking sick and tired of her riding my ass and the guy behind her riding her ass, that I finally had this chance to pass as a guy. So as I was passing, I don't ride my car hard when I pass. If I have to speed up to pass, I won't pass. I didn't have to speed up. I get in front of this fucking guy, and then all of a sudden, pop. I hear a pop, and smoke just fucking goes everywhere, and I'm like, what the fuck? As soon as I see the smoke, my check engine light comes on, and my car starts shaking. Like, cool. I don't know where I can pull over, because I'm in the middle of going down that hill on 26, where you have nowhere to pull over. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go home. I got home. Every time I'd stop at a stoplight, it would just shake and shimmy a lot. And of course, I had messaged Michael because he is an idiot, but he has worked on a lot of cars. So I asked him right away, I was like, what could this be? And he's like, I don't know, a head gasket. It could be a hose that popped loose. It could be engine mounting came off. All this shit. I'm like, fuck. So I get at home, and I call Advanced Solution. Auto Solution. I don't know, somewhere on Union that he used to take his cars, and they're actually really good. So I got it to drive. I drove it there, and they hook up the computer, and they're like, "Oh, it's misfiring, and you have like high. It was either high or low oxygen firing to the engine." And they said that the amount of oil wasn't right, and that could be it. But what they wanted to start with first was just changing the oil. So I sat there for an hour while they tested it and checked it and drove it and then changed the oil. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, this should stop the shaking, but if it doesn't, bring it back. But basically what he said is if it was anything other than that, I would need a new engine, which is not news I want to hear because I don't have the money for a new engine. And how it's going to be hard to find a fucking engine for an old car like that. So, of course, that ruined the day. But it's not driving like it was, but it's still driving like shit. I don't think I'm going to make it the rest of the year with it, but here's to trying.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to have to try. How much longer do you have to pay on that?
I don't know. I need to get a hold of him. It should be just till like February.
Yeah, that's really weird because you said it's like, it was supposed to be like 24 months.
Yeah, but I swear I saw a thing on my credit score somewhere. It was like 33 months. I'm like, no, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, no, let's see. Let me add this up. Stay.
Do the math out loud.
No.
We're recording.
Nobody wants to hear how much I pay for the shitty car.
We're recording, and we got to fill up space. Can't be any awkward silences. You're failing. You're failing hard.
I don't know.
Anyways, chat, what's going on? All I see is Ryan up there, but maybe someone else is watching.
I don't know. All I know is...
Talk to us.
I'm going to find out, but as soon as tax time comes next year, or as soon as January comes, I don't know. I am going to get a new car. Hopefully I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm sick and tired of the shitty-ass car. Like, right now, anymore... It is a ticking time bomb, which sucks, and it pisses me off because I have kids I have to get to and from school, and I have a job I have to get to and from. It stresses me out. And I know you said you can't control it, and that's what pisses me off, is that I can't control it.
Yeah.
That I don't have the funds right now to get a new... Well, I do. I could get a new car right now, but I can't afford 2 car payments because I can't get rid of this car until it's paid off. It's not like I can be like, here, take it back. I have to pay it off.
What's up, Nate Phillips? I see you in there. Mother-in-law, mother-in-law dearest, welcome to Podcastrophe.
But yeah, so anymore, it's just a ticking time bomb, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to make it this winter, though.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Deep Voice City, what?
Me or you? Hopefully you.
No.
Uh-oh.
I wonder.
Let me turn it on. It's just a ticking time bomb, and we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to make this winter, though. Oh, God.
We've been primed. Oh, well. It's too late. I can't do anything.
Change it.
We're already recording.
I wonder.
Oh, we sound horrible.
Oh, this is great. We're going fully into this. That's.
We've been primed.
Oh no.
You can't change that?
I can't change
I have
it.
to sound like a man this
I'm
whole
pretty
time?
sure I would have to completely turn the interface off and turn it back on. We'd have to stop recording. I mean, I guess we could try that. We'll try that.
Oh, we're going to go bye-bye?
No, we're not gonna go bye-bye. We're just gonna stop recording. Big dick day.
Big joke day!
And we're back after some brief technical difficulties.
Oh my
Got
God.
everything sounding the way it needs to sound. I hope.
I went from sounding hideous to hideous.
You went to sounding like this.
No, I still had a high-pitched, hideous voice.
Oh, well, I talked like this.
Don't you always say I have a high-pitched sound?
Yeah, you kind of got it. You get it from your dad. It's obvious you get it from your dad
Did you
because
say Maverick sounds like me, and
Yes.
I don't hear that at all.
you, Maverick, your dad, Colin, and Tanner all sound the same. You all have the same like high tone. It's like this weird timbre to your voice.
It's a
that you all
beautiful
have.
melody, right?
You,
Yes.
I guess.
ooh.
Have you heard it when you sing? Oh!
No, you guys all have like the same exact voice. It'd be
I mean,
really
we
cool.
are all related, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Like you don't have your mom's voice whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it'd be really cool to actually get you guys all talking, record you guys all talking.
I mean,
and-
we could always do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it would. People would hear it.
Well, you should do that because I want to see if we all sound alike. Because it's funny because my dad and I feel like somebody else. I don't know. I will answer my mom's phone sometimes, and my dad will think he's talking to my mom.
That's weird. Well, maybe he's just
My dad's also like hard hearing sometimes.
expecting
Yeah.
it to be your mom. So
I don't know. I tried tricking Derek that day. He called my mom's phone, and I answered it like, hello, and he's like, Miranda! And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep, he knows it's me.
Yep.
But, no, we why don't we do that? We could do that. We could always do a hack family podcast.
Well, we'd need to get him here.
We can't take it with us?
No. Why?
We've traveled and-
How would we be able to take it with us?
I don't know. We've traveled, and
Considering I sold my Zoom to Dave.
was that what we took to
Yep.
Ohio? Oh, well, never mind then.
Yep. No more mobile podcasting for the time being.
Well, Colin will come here.
Yeah.
You can get him and I, which that Snapchat filter of the man face, him and I look just like twins. Just like twins. I don't know if you can show it to the camera here. It's bad.
I love all my old pictures.
It is so bad.
My old man pictures.
Oh my god, no! Because you look like my dad. Here, show that to the camera. We look so much alike. We do.
You do.
It's crazy.
I love all my old man pictures.
I
They
do not.
cracked me up.
Because you look like my dad.
I look like Bill fucking Murray.
No, you look like my dad.
Several people said I look like Bill Murray.
You look like my dad.
Well, no one knows what your dad looks like except
like
for you.
that.
So,
I mean, Nate knows what my dad looks like.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, let me see here. Let's keep talking. I'm going to pull up a picture of you and my dad. It's so sad.
I don't think I look like your dad.
Well, what's weird is when we got together, Michael, and my stupid ex-husband, said, "Oh, he looks like your dad." I was like, "You're only saying that because he has a beard, and my dad has a beard."
Yeah.
But no, You look like my dad.
I don't think I look like your dad.
You look like my dad. Bad. Hold on, I can find a picture.
Better hurry. This is like some really
You
dead
can,
space.
I said keep
This is
talking.
some really
no,
dead space
keep
right
talking.
now. Jeez.
What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Not a lot's been going on lately. Like it's been really quiet. Not a lot of topics to really discuss that aren't like super heated.
I don't know. Come on. They're not going to be able to see that.
No.
But do you not agree? Come on.
Okay, a little bit, especially with the faces we're making. That's funny.
I mean, your eyebrow goes up more than my dad, but they always do say, which somebody had said this to me. They always do say you go after people like your dad. I have heard that, but not look-wise. I've heard personality-wise, which you're nothing like my dad. Sorry. But
Fucking Amber in the comments. Dick, you're balding. Thanks. Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
But yeah, I've heard people say you tend to go towards for people like your dad. But again, that's actions and personalities, not looks. And
Yeah.
like, I don't think you look anything like my dad. Like, now. Old pictures, yes. Creepy. Weird.
Just wait till I'm older.
No. But personality, no, you're nothing like my dad. Which I always said I would find a guy like my dad. Only because he's hardworking and a badass.
Now she says I'm balding in the back. Yeah, like
You
way
are.
back here, but like
No.
where the camera is like catching it. It's just like really thin because I just got a haircut and I got like a one fade.
Quit checking yourself out in the camera.
It's bad.
You have a bald spot in the top right here. Always see it when you put your head down in the camera.
Oh,
Don't sit so close to the camera.
I'm self-conscious now.
I still love you.
She's asking when we are gonna make a baby.
Do you want to explain that?
I'll let you explain that
Why can't you explain that?
because it's your body.
Maybe we can create a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We cannot have a child
We can't have a child.
because Miranda in her past decided to get her tubes tied.
Yeah.
And instead of her husband, her ex-husband, getting fixed himself, nope.
Okay, let me discuss it a
Go
little
for
more
it.
than you.
Go for it.
So yes, my tubes are tied. And I did this because
It's a lot of fun for me.
I know, I bet. No, I would love to have our own little baby.
Yeah, me too.
I would. There are times where I'm like, fuck no, because my kids are enough, and I'm like, I enjoy like not having a dependent thing all the time. But I also would like to have something together like that. But no, I got fixed because
She says get them undone.
$7,000.
Yep.
Do you want to help pay
Would
for
you like
that?
to donate?
No, I got them tied because, okay, so some people know the story of my ex-husband and I. We were high school sweethearts. We tried having babies when we were 18 out of high school. Couldn't get pregnant. Tried for 4.5 years. Bam. Finally, 4.5 years later, after our 1-year marriage anniversary, got pregnant with my daughter. That pregnancy was fucking horrible. I was in and out of the hospital for morning sickness. I lost a bunch of weight. Again, in and out of the hospital. And then I got preeclampsia, had to be induced. And then, in delivery, after 19 and a half hours, she almost killed me by, I bled too much, and they couldn't stop it. So I had her. She got $5,000 or $5.
You got $5. You donating $5?
But,
An Abe Lincolner.
But no. So then here my little 3-month-old daughter is just 3 months old, and I get pregnant with my son. Oh my God. So that pregnancy was a little better, but he still tried coming early. So I was in and out of the hospital again, and then that delivery was faster, but still sucked. And basically, when we found out he was a boy, we had told my doctor, okay, we're done. I was 24, tubes tied. Boy, girl, perfect world, married my high school sweetheart. I'm never going to meet somebody else and get married and want to have kids again. My mom said, yeah, you will. I said, no, I won't. Of course. My doctor was hesitant because I was only 24, but at the same time, she knew how bad it was on my body. So she did it. And of course, now here I'm married again to somebody who has no kids and wants kids. But he also knew way in advance before we got
I knew what I was getting
serious that $5 that I couldn't have kids, and he knows how much it's torn me up since we've been together.
Yeah.
And how emotional I get over it.
Yeah, this sucks, but let me figure out how to say this, because like I want to say like that's just the hand we've been dealt, know.
It is.
And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So
cute.
I mean, despite the fact that we cannot currently have children together, I wouldn't want to be stuck in this situation with anybody else.
Aw, you do love me. No.
Kinda.
What?
What?
You say kinda?
What?
Wow. No. You were aware of this because I made sure.
She said, Amber says, I'll rent you one of mine. I have a wide range in ages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how many are you up to? Like 8? You fucking Amish woman.
No, I would like to, but no. So after my ex and I split, any guy I talked to in the very beginning, even if it wasn't serious, I let know right away, hey, I can't have kids, because that can be a deal breaker. And Brady, the guy I dated before I met you, at first said it wasn't a deal breaker, but
Jesus,
then
I blame Trump.
but then middle of our relationship, he was like, yeah, if you can't have kids, if we can't get this fixed, I'm leaving you. So I thought, okay, so you want to get married, so if we get married and a couple years on the road, I can't have a kid for you, for us, you're going to leave me? Nah, this isn't going to work out. Which you better never fucking do. Why are you being quiet? I will.
Because it's dramatic.
Hurt you. No, I will not. But, no, I go back and forth. I would love to, especially since you haven't had a child.
Yeah.
I would like that. But then I go back to when I was younger, they both almost killed me. So how would my body handle it now that I'm older? And not only that, I turned 30 this December. 17, don't forget this year. I'll be 30. So, do I really want another one? Because by the time Maverick is a senior, I'll be 39, 40. That's still young. That's still young enough to go for us to continue our life. Because, believe it or not, babe, the older they get, so people think babies and toddlers are like what you have to throw everything onto. But no, it's when they get older.
Oh, yeah.
When they get interested in the sports
Yeah.
or music or plays, whatever. Our life's going to turn drastically towards them more.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, by the time, so when they get teenagers, we won't have much of our time. Well, when they're teenagers, yes. But when they start getting to that stage, our time will be very limited, even more. So by the time that they do graduate,
It depends on how active they want to be.
I feel like they're going to be very active.
They might be, and I'm not going to discourage them from that. But like I said, it just depends on what
I think they
want.
will, just because
But
I'm very active. I encourage them to be active. I think they will.
I mean, I was pretty active as a kid. I mean, this is just me, but I was very active as a kid. I played sports. I never played for teams and stuff, but
Yeah.
I went to basketball camp. I played baseball, football, basketball, golf. I did all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that stuff. I wanted to play basketball. I never really wanted to play football or baseball, but I did want to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And, your interests change. Like
They do.
their interests are going to change,
Oh,
I
know they will.
And again, like I said, I'm not going to discourage them from anything that they want to do unless it's going to hurt them.
Me either.
Like in a real hurt, not like, oh, they can get injured on the field or something. I will always encourage them to do what they want to do and do what they love and
Me
are
too.
passionate about.
But what I was getting at was when Maverick graduates. Oh my God, I fucked that up. We'll still be young enough we can continue our
Oh, yeah.
life. We throw our baby in there now, we're going to be a lot older when that child graduates. She said adopt. We've thought about that, but you wouldn't be good for
I
adoption.
don't know if I would want to adopt.
This sounds shitty, but I can tell that you're not the type who could love something that's not yours, which sounds bad because you have stepchildren.
Yeah.
But you have admitted before that if
Yeah,
we had a child
that's
together,
exactly.
you would feel more love towards that child than my children, which
It would be a different kind of love.
is common. But you gotta also remember with me, like, I do fear if we had a child, you showing that child, because it is easy to show your own child
Well,
more
I
love
would have a
than another
different
child.
connection than I would with your kids.
Obviously, but you gotta remember, our kid and my kids are still all my kids.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna have the same connection with all of
Definitely.
them. But it is common for, if we were to have a child, that child to have that, you would show that child more love. And kids aren't stupid, especially mine. Mine pick up on shit. I don't want that to traumatize them because they would pick up on that. And you're the type that, this may sound bad, I feel like you would do it strongly without knowing you're doing it strongly.
Yeah. I don't know, like...
But again, adoption I don't think is good for you.
So, I
because-
mean, I had two stepfathers growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I had my brothers, Brady and Logan, their dad, Mike, who I really enjoyed him as a stepdad. And then I had Landon's dad, Tim, who I could not stand as a stepdad. Not that he's a terrible guy or anything. He just wasn't a good stepdad, you know. And that's one of the reasons my mom divorced him, was because he just wasn't good for her kids. I mean, he was great for Landon, but not us.
Right.
And I could tell. I mean, wow, way to go. No, there was this one time where, you know, Landon was asleep, and then Brady and Logan, they were like 5 and 6 or something like that, maybe older. I think Brady was like maybe 10. Yeah, and like they were just messing around being kids, you know. And then Tim just like yelled at the top of his lungs, like the most angry fucking yell I've ever heard from him. And it shook me enough that I was like, if he ever yells at you like that again, you tell me. Like I big brother mode engaged, which I was not like that with my brothers.
Whoa, yeah, I was gonna say.
I was not like that with my brothers. I was an only child in my eyes.
Well, yeah, because that's what I was getting ready to say is your
Amber knows. She goes, fucking Tim.
your experience with step parents is different than what my kids are having, because you see them more than their dad sees them, because they're with me full time. Your dad had you full time, so you weren't with your stepdad as much as what my kids are with you. So you should have more of a connection to them than they did with you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I do feel like a fatherly presence towards them. I mean, I'm still learning the ropes. I mean, here we are almost 2 years later, but you know, it's an everyday thing.
How long can you say?
It's an
you're still
everyday
learning?
thing.
It is, I know.
It's an everyday thing.
But how many people do we have in the
I mean,
chat?
you've had him for 5 and 6 years. I've had him for 2.
I know.
So, and I had to learn them after they'd already developed. You've known them.
I know we don't have very many people in the chat, but we have people that might comment on this about what we were talking about the other day as far as step parents and financial
okay.
situations.
Yeah.
So
I've talked to a few people about that since
and
then.
okay, so here's the thing. What did she used to call your mom?
You used to call my mom Samantha, I believe. I don't know why. I don't know the story behind that, but...
Okay, so I don't know how to... Okay, so I'll just go. My kids, kindergarten, first grade. I have paid for everything for them. I paid their registration. I paid their school clothes, most of their school supplies, their lunch money, everything. I had a friend of ours say, wow, Blaine hasn't helped any. And I defended you and said, I'm sure if he could, he would. So that kind of had it ticking in my head like, huh, I never really thought about that. Because this whole 2 years, have I ever made you feel like you should pay for them?
No.
Or been like, you need to help with this, or like with any of their sports or anything? No. But we are married. We are a family. They are yours now. You knew what you were getting into. It made me think, okay, as we get older and as they get older, when does that kick in to where you do feel like you're financially responsible for them? So I brought up to the ladies I work with, do you feel like he should help pay somewhat, if he can, towards their financial, like at least education or something. They all agreed, yes, you should, because you knew what you were getting yourself into.
And I don't agree. I'm
Yeah,
just going to come out and say
yeah,
it. I don't
I know.
agree.
You said that you don't agree. You don't. Yes, their dad is involved.
Their dad's involved. He pays child support, which
Poorly.
it
child
doesn't
support
it
that
doesn't matter.
cut.
It doesn't matter. He still pays it.
I get that.
And that is
But at the same time,
regardless of how much you get in child support, which is very piss poor. I will admit that. That's what it's for. It's supposed to help you with that.
I get that, but you almost sound as bad as he does because their dad refuses to pay for anything that's not court ordered.
I don't refuse to pay for anything.
Hold on. So you saying that means it sounds like you don't have that responsibility because it's, I don't know how to word that. Like, you sound almost, I don't want to say you sound as bad as him because you don't. But when you say you don't feel responsible for any of that, kind of to me, upsets me because my older brother is not my dad's real dad or son. He paid for everything. Again, his dad wasn't involved like my kid's dad. But I still feel like at some point you should feel like, especially since you see them more than their own dad sees them, and you're more involved, I feel like at some point you would think, like, maybe I should help, or they are a little bit of my responsibility.
Again, I like I told you the other day.
She agrees with me. Thank you.
So as I said the other day, if I was financially stable enough to help you, I would, absolutely. But I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
So therefore, my mindset is I cannot, because
get that
in order
now.
for us to survive,
I get that now.
I need to keep going on the path that I'm going.
I get that, we never really had this discussion because, again, when I got with you, I never was like, I need a baby daddy to support my kids. I've always supported my kids. You haven't had to pay for them towards that. Yes, you pay to get, you pay for gas to get them to and from the babysitter, and we split the bills for the house.
And that's what people told me. And like I laid it all out for them when I was explaining the situation. They're like, "No, I mean technically you do your part by paying the bills because you provide a roof over their head."
But I pay for half of those bills.
Yeah, so do I.
But that's the thing,
it's almost like you're complete. I mean, you're not intentionally, but like you're not including that with.
No, I do include that. But I know you have your own things to pay for, but those are mistakes that you've gotten yourself
mistakes.
into.
So are you going to pay for those?
No.
Wow, that made it sound like your kids are mistakes.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
That's bad. No, not what I was getting at all. But like,
bad. No, I really
but
have
like,
my kids.
essentially, like, so I had these things before we
Some
got
of these
together.
Things. There are current things.
Oh,
that you
yeah,
have
there are
now
current things,
that we
but
in the past 2 years.
I had a lot of this before
But
we met.
This is what I have a hard time with. Okay, so I've always paid bills, always. You know,
so have I.
either the full amount or half when I was with my ex-husband, whatever. You make 10 plus more than I do an hour, and we split bills equally. Yeah, I still have 2 kids I have to pay for. Babysitter, I have to pay for their lunches, which is a lot of money. Things throughout the year, field trips, all this shit. And nobody helps me with. Why should I still have to pay half of what we use here, which, as I know, I use it, I get that, when you make way more than I do? When there are people, and I'm not judging or, like, comparing lives.
We just view this very differently, and
We
I'm sorry mine's, I guess, shitty, but, that's kind of how I grew up, like, my step-parents didn't pay for me, given they weren't
With
the
you
main,
full-time.
they weren't the main parent.
And
in my
that I would
life.
understand.
But,
I would never expect Kaylee to pay for my kid's shit.
But
because-
again, Tim, Landon's father, he never helped pay for Brady and Logan.
That's because her dad probably paid for more than $66 a week.
He probably didn't have child support at all, actually. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know that situation.
But, I don't know. I don't know. It's been one of the subjects that we never brought up because I've just always been this, I don't know, I guess just be thankful that I am the way I am and that I'm fine completely being a badass bitch and paying for everything. I don't know, or it would cause a fight. Yes, part of it does upset me. part of
And
me
I
also
knew
understands-
I understand and knew that it probably would upset you, but like
I mean,
that's just
part-
how I feel.
part
I
of
feel
me-
like I'm doing my best as a
Yes.
parent to raise them, and like their father is in their life and he should be responsible.
But you know firsthand that he will not do
Oh, I
anything
know.
that's not court ordered.
I know.
Which
but
makes you, which I feel like should make you be like, fuck that. These kids need an
If I could-
actual
if I could.
father figure in their life who doesn't need to
But
go
being a
out
father-
court papers.
being a father figure doesn't mean spending money.
Financially, I get that, but supporting them. Education,
Yeah.
supporting them.
Yeah.
Make sure they have lunch money in their account, supporting them. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about going to the store and buying shit.
All right, so we got a big old comment from Amber. Personally, in my opinion, when you get married, your money is hers and yours is his. It shouldn't be my money is mine. It shouldn't be both. It should be both of yours. Otherwise, a household can't run smooth. The kids see that and will feel like they aren't important in your eyes because they aren't yours. I don't know. You saw that with your stepdads. She said, just personally.
I mean, I agree with her. I also feel like we haven't really done like my money, your money. Like,
No, we
We
haven't.
don't share joint bank accounts.
No, and I mean,
never will.
Yeah, I'm good.
I do work hard for my money, and I am very. Okay, so I guess the reason I'll never share a bank account is because of my ex. Obviously, you know this.
Yeah.
I am good at budgeting. I'm good at spending my money and saving it. You are not.
I'm not. Okay, first of all.
You're not. You're not.
Let's clarify here.
Admit it.
I am not good at saving money. I am not good at budgeting.
Nope.
I am not good at spending what I don't
No.
need to spend. However,
What I just said.
all my spending that I do is after I've paid everything that
And
I
I get
need to
that.
pay.
I get that.
But it gets me nowhere. And I understand
Yeah.
that.
It gets you nowhere.
That gets me nowhere.
There are things that you still buy. I want to say there was a moment you were getting better, and then you fell off that better train, and you. Last week, I don't know how many times I came home and there was a package on our doorstep.
Twice.
I'm just saying. I work hard for my money, and I'm not.
One
gonna,
of those things was something I bought forever ago, and it was on back order.
What I'm saying is, I work hard for my money, and I'm not gonna let another douchebag. You're not a douchebag, but if you spent all my money,
I wouldn't
you'd be a
spend your
douchebag.
money.
But no, I forget what.
Again, I spend what I owe.
I guess I mean.
There you go.
It's hard to say because I grew up with my mom. She worked when she first had kids, and then babysitter cost all this. You know, by the time she got done working, all that went to babysitter. So my dad's like, why work? Stay home. He ran his own construction company. So I grew up with a stay-at-home mom and a dad who busted his ass off and paid for everything. And then...
She said married life.
Right. Yeah. So you would think, I mean, thankfully I'm not as like, hey, I should stay home and you should be working. Thankfully I'm not like that as
Yeah, it's
much.
2019. That's not possible.
It's not. And my parents...
And it shouldn't be possible.
My parents are watching. My parents have before, you need to be staying at home. I would love to stay at home a little more, but also at the same time...
It would be nice.
It would. But at the same time, my dad raised a child. I am a lot like my dad. I'm a provider because I don't need you in my life. I could do it without you, and I did do it without you. So, yeah. And then my parents raised me that way. So I guess I'm in the middle of wanting to agree with you should feel more responsible, and I'm in between. Well, no, he shouldn't.
Again,
feel.
like
But again, like,
if
we did get married. You knew
Yeah,
what you're gonna.
yeah.
If I married somebody with kids, I would feel responsible financially for those kids because I am now in their life, and it is my responsibility for those kids to make sure they have what they need to survive. I'm not ever gonna be like, I didn't create them. They don't need me to survive. Even if their mother was in their life, I would still make sure they had what they needed. Or help make sure they have what they needed.
I disagree, and that's just me. And like I've said before, like one, if I was financially able to do this right now, I would help.
Would you, or would you go buy more shit you don't need?
I would. And two, basically anytime you've asked me for help, I have helped you. which hasn't been much.
I was gonna say it hasn't.
Hasn't been much, but I have, and I
Right.
will. Anytime I'm asked, I always help the best that I can. So there's that.
I'm not shit
There's
talking
that.
you here. I'm not.
no, I mean it's a discussion, and you know, like I have that's the cool thing about you and I and our marriage is like
We're understanding
we,
towards
one,
each other.
One, we're understanding. Two, I mean, in this platform, we are very. We have no problem being completely transparent. Like
Yeah.
we don't hide anything. I don't think there's hardly anything that we really would hide from anyone
No,
within our marriage. Like we
No.
don't really have any problems.
we really don't. Honestly,
you know, and anything like again, like we've been very. I want to say the word candid about our sex life. Like we have no issue popping that out there, talking about our sex life. We have
No.
no issue talking about our personal life. Like, it's basically free game because, like, who cares?
Yeah.
If it's personal, we won't talk about it.
Yeah.
If it's that personal, we won't talk about it. But
Right. No, I know. I think we're very understanding toward each other in that. And we're both the types that we can obviously disagree on things.
yeah,
And it's not going to make us choke each other out or leave each other. We may not agree with each other at times, but we also...
I mean, I'm not financially stable enough to leave you.
Is that why you're with me?
I mean, I mean, the divorce. I'm not financially stable enough for the divorce. I can't afford like that $500.
So you're just stuck with me?
I'm just stuck with you until I can afford that. I mean, I could save up.
$500?
It's like $500
Imagine-
roughly.
Your $500 sitting on your computer right now, your desk.
I could sell that, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But do I want to?
Do you want
I could save. All I'd have to do is save for 5 weeks, because I automatically draft
Let me ask you this
$100
serious
to my
question.
savings account every week.
Do you want to leave this?
No, I don't.
Because I'm a badass bitch that gets shit done.
I hate that.
You hate that?
I hate people who refer to themselves as badass bitches. Like it's like, shut up. Like yeah,
am
you're
the-
badass.
I am badass.
I hate when people like refer to themselves as a bitch.
How often
like,
do I
it's
refer to
supposed-
myself that way?
You say I'm a badass bitch regularly.
I am though, guys.
You're badass. I will agree, but you're not a bitch.
I'm not a bitch, no.
No, like that's like a
I'm badass. Sorry, I'm a badass.
like. No offense to anybody, but like that's just some like slang that I just can't get behind. Like, you know.
Yeah, maybe I do. But no, I do. Not to toot my own horn, I do feel like a badass.
You are a badass. You do a lot of shit, not just for your kids, not just for yourself, but for me, this house. You do a lot of shit, and I do my best to give you as much credit every time that I possibly can.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are a badass bitch,
I like it.
Amber.
Wow, that bitch sounded really different than badass. No, we do. I think we have. I'm gonna say I think we have a perfect marriage. I mean, it's very rare that we fight. We do bicker sometimes, like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We do have disagreements, like dogs. I want a dog. Damn it.
I am not personally ready for a
We
dog.
will get a dog.
I'm not opposed to getting a dog. I just don't want a dog right now.
Okay, well, we're gonna have a dog someday.
I've told you a million times. I have no issue getting a dog. I don't want a dog
I want a
right
dog.
now.
But anyway,
I especially don't really want a dog in this house.
this house is fine.
I don't think it's fine.
It is fine. Our house is a good size.
I want to wait until we
Whatever.
get a better house. It's a good size house.
It is for a dog.
But the yard's not good enough for a
Yes,
dog.
it
I don't
is.
think so.
The previous owners had a dog.
Yeah. And it probably sucked. That dog probably sucked too.
Even
I don't want a shitty dog.
we won't have a shitty dog.
Why the hostility on the word bitch?
I mean, I picked you out. Are you shitty?
I'm mildly okay.
You're all right.
I'm all right.
No,
I'm not gonna toot my horn whatsoever.
Mr. 30%er.
Yup.
No, I am. I'm happy with our marriage. And
You know, speaking
and-
on 30%.
Yes.
Brandon was talking to my team leader Teresa today with
Mm-hmm.
me present. She was like, "Up, there's that." He goes, "Up, there's that 30% again,"
Mm-hmm.
she said he complimented me in that. He's like, you know, his 30% is actually pretty good. It's just
where he wants to put the effort.
who knows how far like, who knows how much better it would be if it would be past 30%. Like, it's crazy. I was like, yeah, you're right. Like my 30%, it's either enough or pretty decent for 30%.
Yeah. But no, like I was saying, I'm happy with our marriage.
Yeah. Me too.
Thankfully, I don't fall under peer pressure or listening to other people, because I've been told multiple times, and not just with our relationship, but anything in the past, that I'm too easygoing and that I let too much slip. Which, to me, anymore, I'm at that age. Why bicker and fight over the tiny petty shit that's not serious? There's no reason to. Like, when Michael and I were together, of course, when we were teenagers, first married, yes, we bickered over the jealousy. We bickered over the tiny shit. We fought. And then it got better-ish. But anymore, I've just never been that type that... I've always been that type where you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion. You can be different from mine. I'm not going to kill you for that. I'm not going to wring your neck. Because there are things that we... Like, well, we're not going to get into this discussion. I'm just going to throw examples. Politics, abortions, things like that we've disagreed on.
Yeah.
And it has done nothing to our marriage. It's okay to talk about those things. And it's okay to have that disagreement. Because then it teaches you things. It teaches me things. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at.
I get what you're saying.
I think we work perfect together.
No, I'm at the point... This is probably annoying to you, but like the point in my relationships, yeah, I agree on the whole, like, there's no point in bickering, or bickering doesn't matter, just ignore it. Where I'm at the point with all my relationships that any bullshit that comes my way, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't. Yeah, I either just completely ignore it altogether if I'm like, if it's something that like you're pissed off about, then I'm like, this is pointless.
There has been times, not very many, but there has been times where I've been upset, and I can either be the person that tells you directly, or there are times when I feel like I'm going to make things worse if I say something, so I'm going to wait for you to pick up on what's bothering me to start that conversation, and you don't give a fuck. And you don't pick up on it, and you don't say anything, which then in turn makes it worse. But we haven't had very many of those.
No, and most of the time, if you're upset and I know I've upset you, if it's serious, I'm pretty good at owning up to it and coming around, you know. But if like if it doesn't strike that part of my brain where I'm like, okay, I fucked up. Which I'm pretty good at telling. Yeah. I'm really good at telling. Yeah. I will toot my own horn on that.
You've been okay.
If I'm in the wrong, I am really good at telling if I'm in the wrong. However, if it's not that serious to me and I don't think I'm in the wrong, then I'll be like, go be pissed off. I don't give a shit.
Bathroom break.
Bathroom break. She told me to punch. She told you to punch me. No explanation, no reason, just do it. In the nose. You're supposed to punch me in the nose. Oh, in the nose? Yeah, way to go. You failed. Now I gotta fill up time. So I guess in this time, I will... I know we already got some plugs in the beginning, but definitely shout out to the Journey into Comics Network for hosting us every Thursday. You can check out a lot of shows on the Journey into Comics Network, like Journey into Comics, like Brews with Dudes, like Dungeons with Dudes, like Kids for Sale, like Adulting Ain't Easy, and Port 360, and Journey into Wrestling, and Foodies Watching Movies.
Did I punch you in the nose?
And yeah, you don't get to punch me in the nose. Don't do it.
She told me to.
I hate that. I can't think of any more shows, but there's a lot of them, and they're all awesome. No, I didn't get to plug the shows in the new pre-roll plug that we do. Before we did this show today, I went ahead and made a pre-roll, and I'm pretty proud of it.
I'm proud of you.
I'm pretty proud of it. You know, I did a little background Big Dick Day riff, and I wrote out a little pre-roll bumper.
That's another thing that irritates me with some people.
Shout out for Amber Turner. You go by his last name? I can't remember. Amber Morgan Turner. she has a shared Facebook account, which is super annoying.
Oh, I know.
Shared Facebook accounts are like stupid. I hate them. But like I feel like you use it mostly anyway, so it's whatever.
She's gonna punch you.
Probably, I'm not surprised. If she's ever in fucking Lafayette, never hits me up.
I don't blame her.
It's supposed to be my sister. You didn't even finish your one.
I am finishing it. I just wanted to get this one.
Oh,
open.
okay. She has a tendency to
I
do
don't
this.
like warm drinks.
She
I don't
does. She
drink the bottom.
She drinks like half of it.
No. Not,
Sometimes 3/4 of it, of anything, not just beer or whatever.
I don't drink beer.
Not just alcoholic beverages.
I don't like the
Pop,
bottom.
anything.
The bottom inch. I don't like
And
it.
then she'll just waste it, completely waste it.
I paid for it, so.
Oh, you're moving back. Good job. Come be on the podcast sometime. It'll be fun. If you can get away from your 8, 9, 17 kids.
God.
7. She confirmed 7 earlier. Oh. Borderline Amish. What were we talking about?
How awesome we are.
Yeah, we're pretty awesome.
No, we are. I like it. Oh, you're gonna have to run my back later. I pulled it.
No problem doing that.
Age.
Never drink the bottom. It's gross. Well,
Thank you.
She doesn't drink it because it gets warm.
Yes, that's
which
what I said. It
warm
gets
to her
warm.
is like
It
room temperature, almost
it gets
cold.
warm and flat. Warm and
Her
nasty.
version of flat is literally opening the bottle.
Fuck you.
You rarely ever drink a 2-liter after it's been opened.
No, I will not. I will agree to that.
The first night, no.
The
I'm
very
sorry.
no, I will not.
Carbonation lasts for days as
No.
long as you don't leave it open.
There is a big difference when you pop a 2-liter open for the first time and then you put it back in the refrigerator and you go to get it the next day. It does taste flat.
If
You may
you-
don't have some carbonation, but the flavor is
If you tighten
different.
it good enough, I never put it back in the refrigerator.
No, you never, and that's why I will never drink it.
I don't put. No, you don't put pop after it's been opened back in the
Yeah,
refrigerator.
you do. Cold. Who wants to drink a
Ice.
lukewarm pop?
Ice.
No, I don't care.
Frosted mug.
I do not. I will not drink
But no,
a 2-liter
tighten
the
it up.
second time.
Tighten it up enough, it won't go flat.
No. Michael used to squeeze the air out of it and tighten it. I don't know why.
That's
he said
stupid.
it was better.
That doesn't do anything.
I don't know. But
I mean,
no.
if there is a scientific reason, which I doubt. I doubt he would know that. But if there is a scientific reason for that, and somebody out there knows, just tell us, I guess. But I doubt there's any real reason.
But look, when I don't finish it, you can.
You're not wrong.
No, I don't. I will not.
Shit, we got my brother Logan and Zach Davidson in the chat.
I saw
Say hi.
Zach at FYE today. FYE. He doesn't know it, but I know it. I did.
Very nice. Now you know. She was creeping on you.
I walked by earlier, and he was looking at one of the front tables, and I just walked on by because I had to hurry up and get out of there, look at the kids. But yeah, he doesn't know it, but now he does. I saw him.
He's someone we've never had on the actual regular podcast.
Yeah.
He's never been on just the regular show. He's been on Drunkastrophe.
Well, do better.
Definitely, he's been on Brews with Dudes a ton. He's been at since I've been mixing Brews with Dudes, he has his own dedicated track on my recording template because I have to have special settings just for him, Nick, and Dave.
Like their voices,
yeah.
because
their voices they carry into the microphone differently, and that it's true for everybody. Everybody's voices interacts differently with different microphones. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when recording vocalists for a recording a CD, they'll do a microphone shootout, find out which microphone suits the voice the best. And
did not know.
So because a lot of us don't really have options in terms of shooting out microphones before an episode. We just use what we're given. So therefore, there's a lot of things you can do in editing that will help. And so I've got Zach, David Linder, Nick Maxon, and Casey Taylor all down to their own track. So whenever they're on Brews with Dudes or Dungeons with Dudes, they have their own special settings.
Cool.
Yeah, and it definitely cuts down time tremendously.
Does Tyler have his own? Because I feel like
Yeah, he's got his own. If people like, I immediately made Tyler his own track and settings.
he's got a very loud.
Yeah, for sure. But like
Voice.
people that you know, like I know Tyler is more than likely always going to be on this show. At least like he's going to be he's a co-host, so he's a constant. Whether he's on the show or not, if he's not, I just don't use his track. That's fine.
By the way, have you broken the news about?
No, not yet. I'm going to wait until next week.
Oh, why next week?
I don't know.
Is it because I'm on this week?
No.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. I can.
Well, I
say
mean,
it.
you can wait, and maybe it'll keep people coming. I mean, maybe people will come back.
Tune in next week for some super important news regarding the podcast.
Some juicy news.
Some juicy news.
No, it's not that big of a deal.
You don't have to say it now if you don't want
No,
to.
I'm good. I'll wait until Tyler's on. Discuss it with my fellow co-host.
I thought I knew before you. I was honestly shocked.
No, he
I was surprised. I was.
no.
We'll go there.
Yep.
What were we talking about?
Voices.
Voices.
Zach says, "Aw, thanks,
What news?
friend."
You're gonna have to tune in next Tuesday for Podcastrophe.
Of course, I meant.
Said, don't be a bitch.
He's always a bitch.
I'm actually pretty stoked for next week. We
Wow.
got Corey Parks coming on from Narrow House and Death Ensemble.
I'm trying to put a face.
Singer
to, a
to
name.
Death Ensemble.
Yeah, maybe answer.
Short hair guy. You said you didn't like his voice. You're like, I don't like the vocals.
Oh God, when?
At the it's Ray's band.
Was that the band that they just? Okay, I have to.
They
see a
just
face.
got there. They used to be Narrow House, but they just got back together as a new band called Death Ensemble.
Logan saying, "Nah, now, dude." What's his name? Corey.
Corey Parks.
Park.
Assuming he doesn't cancel, he will be on the show next week, and I'm pretty stoked for that.
God, now you're telling him I don't like his voice. He's not gonna come.
It's a pretty common theme. Not in terms of like everybody hates his voice, but like his voice is very unique and not for everybody.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Bald guy. He's
Yeah.
completely. You said short hair. He's bald. I don't remember his voice.
I don't think I said short hair at all.
I think you did. I don't remember his voice.
She says, Amber says, I'm not coming. This is bullshit. Fine. I guess you'll never know. This is a very chat interactive episode.
I like it.
I do too.
It's because I'm on it. No.
I do too.
What else we got going on?
We just finished season 1 of a show we've been watching. I mentioned this on episode 100 last week, but I didn't really get to talk about it with anybody because
I thought because you guys were talking about something. You guys said if there's something that you can tell people to start watching, what would it be? Was that it?
yeah, basically, I asked everybody what they were watching recently.
I like it. Did you ever get to watch the first episode?
No, I don't think I watched like the first 2 episodes.
You kind of got what was going on, though.
Yeah, I maybe came in at some point during the second episode, but
You gonna tell them what it is?
it's Euphoria on HBO featuring Zendaya.
It's really good. I love it, and I think she did.
Yeah, she did a really
amazing
good job
for that.
Do you think that was so in the season finale, that little musical number at the end? Do you think that was her singing? I think that was her.
I think so because I think
'Cause
she
she
does.
does-
She is a singer. I
she
think.
does singing, I
'Cause
believe.
You
I don't know
said
much
she was
about
on
her.
that show we were watching Smallfoot last night.
Yeah.
and she had a part where she was singing. So yeah, I could see that being her for real.
Mm-hmm. The 100. I haven't watched the 100.
That is.
It's a show on the CW, I think.
But no, I did love that show. I absolutely loved.
It was this like really in-depth and raw, harsh view of high school.
Which-
Probably not something that would go around here.
Right, which I mean, okay, so their idea for the show was to show high school problems. Those were some extreme fucking high school problems. Some extreme.
Yeah, but that's like a California high school. I think it's very different
well,
out there.
and in today's world, I could see it being more realistic than
Yeah.
what we grew up in.
I think for today's world, like the way things are today, and with like kids or teenagers in high school, that's very realistic for like not around here. I don't think
No,
any
like
of that.
Rossville, I don't think would go.
I don't think that would
shit.
be anywhere near what we would see
No.
around here if we were to step into a
Yeah.
high school.
I would hope not.
California, very possible.
Yeah.
Like I could see that being all the stuff that happens, very possible.
I loved it though. I really I really think she did an amazing job at her character.
Yeah.
I also
lot
wanted
of
to
them
watch
did.
it, and I liked it because Derek, my brother, drug addict, it really showed the drug addict's side of things and the personality of the drug addict, which I loved. So I had a lot of different feelings about that, but I don't know. I really liked it. But yeah, that was the one reason I wanted to watch it, mainly because it follows the life. Like, it tells everybody's story, but it follows her narrating everybody's story.
Yeah, I was gonna say she kind of seems to be the one.
It's following her.
It's following her, but at the same
she
time,
tells everybody's story.
yeah, she's narrating everybody's like story, and she's
The-
but it's also following them.
Yeah. But no, I wanted to see it because
so weird.
Because I read, it's about high school problems, but I read the one that caught me obviously was the drug addiction, and it was following a drug addict. So I wanted to see how real or how true it can be because I have lived firsthand with a drug addict. And I mean, there was a lot of truth behind at least that part. Yeah, but I did like it. I can't wait. They've been approved for season 2 and season 3.
Oh, awesome!
I'm excited. I can't wait. I really can't
Like
wait.
part of me, so the way it ended, like I guess she's only a junior in high school.
So I mean, we still have all. And it started with, I don't know. Can we spoil it?
Go for it. I mean, it's over.
It is, but maybe people are like, "Oh, I want to see it." So she was clean there for a while, and it ended with her getting back on drugs. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see that. Which, I mean, she didn't start getting clean until like halfway through, because the whole, it starts out, which I know you didn't see the first one. It starts with her coming back from rehab because her sister finds her overdosing on the floor, vomiting and everything. She comes back and she's lying to her mom saying she's clean, but she's still getting high. She's bringing other people's urine because her mom's like, drug test now. And so her mom thinks she's clean. And then she meets the transvestite.
Yeah.
And, which I honestly thought was a woman. But I loved her character too. Up until the end. I didn't really like her towards the end. But she did have a good reason to become a bitch. But no, so she didn't get clean until like middle, and I was really like, but again, it just shows to you, I'm still on that like, drug addicts, it is a disease versus they have that choice, because at the end it shows she had that choice. Same with my brother, again, we've talked about this several times on episodes, how I used to think it was a disease only until you've been clean so many times, you know what it's like. You have that choice to.
And not to get into it, but like I don't think I've ever really expressed my opinion on that. Like it's always just been Tyler yelling and ranting about it, which he's good at. He's good
I
at
thought
doing
we've
that.
talked about it before.
I don't know if we've talked about it. If we
feel
have,
like we have.
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
then let's talk
but,
about it now. So what's your thought on it? Is it a disease? Is it a choice?
I think it's definitely a mix of it. Like everybody's wired differently.
Yes.
So there are people that, and this is where like I think it's borderline disease, borderline just wiring.
Mental disease, not drug
Yeah,
disease.
obviously. But no, I think everybody's wired differently, and some people are more susceptible to that, like they have addictive personalities.
Changing and wanting to change reality.
Yeah.
That's Derek's.
Well, there's that, but there's like you're more susceptible to the effects of things, so therefore you I don't know. Like me, this is a super stupid comparison, but like I can literally, if once I drink a can of Pepsi and I'm through with it, I can go grab another can of Pepsi. I can go grab another can of Pepsi, I can grab another can of Pepsi and drink Pepsi all fucking day. Just because I got the taste in my mouth and it's like I can just drink it all day. Or sweet.
My phone died. We plug it in.
You know what I mean? It's definitely, like Amber says, she says it's definitely a mix.
It is.
No, like I'm not discounting the fact that it is a possible disease, mental disease, because addiction, again, it boils down to your wiring. I think.
But
Like
I'm gonna wait until you're done because I'm gonna have a long.
like a lot of people with alcohol. Alcoholism is a disease.
Yeah.
It's an alcohol addiction.
Okay. It's a choice too.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. Okay, so same with drugs, alcohol, choice.
Alcoholism is a disease. That is a confirmed disease.
So how can that be a disease, but not drug addiction can be a disease?
Well, that's where I think it is. No,
I don't know. Okay,
alcoholism is a drug. Alcohol is a drug. Is something that is a substance that changes your body.
I get that. Okay, but because she's listening and other people are listening and they might not know this, so it's a repeat to you. I grew up having an older brother addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, so my older brother is 6 years older than me. In high school, I think, is when it started, for sure. He was in a band, metal band. Some people blame that, yada, yada, whatever. My older brother and I have a bigger connection with each other than my younger brothers did with him. So throughout all my teenage years and young adult years, he struggled with addiction. He was in and out of jail and prison for addiction and doing stupid stuff like breaking and entering with addiction. So for the longest time, I stuck by his side because I thought it was a disease. I lost my parents' trust for a while because, well, actually, the last episode we watched last night, where the mom and her are fighting and the younger daughter is going with her sister versus the mom, I lived that real life experience because I will never forget. I don't know how old I was, but I was living on my own. I was out of high school, and my parents called all of us, so Tanner, Colin, I, and Derek, to their house to have this, because Derek was really struggling this time. Like, I mean, I've sat there and watched Derek talk to a shoe because he was so fucked up as a young teenager. I don't even think I was driving yet. You know, so that, I mean, but, so I remember this, so that scene actually really, like, hit me hard because I'd been through that when that mom's like, go after your sister, go be just like her, because I lived that. So my parents called us to their house. We had this discussion about, like, what was going on and all this. I can't remember everything. All I remember is I was on the house on 26, so you know we're at, like, that location. I remember Derek saying, fuck this, and walking down 26. And I followed him, and that pissed my parents off. I lost my parents' trust and all that because I followed him. And so I remember, like, it was a lot of shit. So for years and years, I stuck by his side. I fought with... That's the one thing I did argue. I don't argue a lot with people and disagree with people a lot, but when people would diss drug abusers and say it's not a disease, I would defend him. I did. I would defend him and say, no, it is a disease. You know, I'm living this, you're not, blah, blah, blah. Until this last time around where he was in prison for a couple of years. He got out... was very, I want to be family-like, I want all of us to hang around. I was taking him out, I was taking him to the movies, I took him to a concert. We were like, I wanted him to really know that there's people here for you. Because to me, I always thought people like them need a positivity. They need those people in their life, cheering them on, supporting them on. Maybe that'll keep them away from it. But no, it didn't. He fell back into drugs. He fell back into the same old habits that he had, even when he had all that positive support. And we got into a fight, and he called me a bitch. He called me all this shit because he was fucked up on drugs. Because he was messing around with somebody I was not okay with, and the kids around the house. I found their fucking spoons and their drug and their fucking weight. And he called me a bitch, and that right there hurt me for the longest time. And at that moment, I was like, no, it is a choice. You were in prison for so many years. You felt what sober was like. You got out and you chose to go back to this. Mm-hmm. So at that point anymore, it's hard when, you know, I haven't talked to him up until recently. Yeah. Because it did me hard. But anymore, I am like, it's more of a choice than it is a disease. Yes, there's something mentally there with him.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at, like, with the whole alcohol thing. Like, for me, like, me personally, I don't need alcohol. You've seen me be around everybody, not drink a drop. You've seen me stop when I need to stop. Yeah. And
do you think I'm an alcoholic?
No, so alcohol does not drive me. I love alcohol. I love drinking. I love getting drunk. However, I know when to stop.
Exactly.
I've never needed it.
Right.
There are people out there that just one, don't know how to stop. Two,
And they need it.
think they need it to have a good time.
No, I get that.
So the topic at hand is the current topic at hand is addiction, a disease, or a choice. It's a little bit of both because, and this is what I think. So there are people mentally wired, mentally prone to get addicted to anything, not just substance, but to anything.
Right, because like we were saying the other day,
Whatever gets you off
sweet
gets you
foods,
off.
Sweets,
Yeah,
can be an addiction.
whatever gets you off gets you off. Whatever gets you that mental high, gets you going. You're gonna be addicted to it. You're gonna love it. There are things that I am addicted to. I mean, sure, it's not like disease level addiction,
Right.
but like there are things. However, when there are things that you're addicted to and it actually affects your well-being, the well-being of those around
Yes.
you, that's when it becomes a problem. And this is so I guess when you have a disease and you want to survive, you want to keep living, you want to carry on, you have that survival instinct, you have a choice. Do you treat this disease or do you let this disease kill you?
Take over your life. Yeah.
Like, okay, you get HIV or you get HIV. Do you start treating it or do you just say, fuck it, I'm done?
Right.
Do you have diabetes? I know somebody has diabetes and barely does shit with it. That's their choice.
That's a little different than drug abuse, but
No,
I get what
absolutely.
you're saying.
It's just a
I get what you're
comparison.
saying.
It's a yeah. You have a choice to take care of yourself, aka not do the drugs or thing you're addicted to that's
Right.
harming you and the people around you.
Right.
Or you can keep doing it, keep harming yourself. That's the choice.
Right. And I get that.
But the tricky slippery slope, like tightrope we walk on in this conversation is when you're on drugs and you're that deep in it, you are not in the right state of mind
No.
to make that decision. So that's where
Yes. I
it
agree
teeters.
with that.
It teeters so much,
That
and that's what
choice-
makes it so hard.
What I'm saying is that choice comes about when you have been sober, you got out of prison,
Yes.
you've been sober for 2 years, you know what it's like to be sober, you know you are capable of doing it, and you fall back into it. That is your choice right there. That
And
is
then-
not being under the controlled stuff to, like, you're picking to go back to that life. You're picking to harm yourself, and you're picking to hurt the people that love you. So that's where it's been hard for me because I fought for him for so many years. I fought my parents and my brothers for him. I fought everybody and was there for him more than anybody. And he hurt me
Yeah.
a lot. And you were with me when this had happened.
Yep.
I may have not showed it as much as what it really did. But, I mean, I didn't talk to him for the longest time. Up until that day that my mom handed me the phone and said, talk to him, I didn't give a fuck about him. I didn't care about him. And it's sad because he's a great guy. He's such a good guy. And the thing is with Derek, and this is where it gets to be like...
I like Derek.
I love Derek.
I enjoyed meeting him.
He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's just stupid.
Yeah, the short time I knew him. But I like that you brought up...
Hold on.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, this is where it gets to be, is it a disease or a choice? Because someone who has gone through that, Derek, he will admit he was the problem. So that right there, a drug addict, he will agree that it is a mental thing. He is wired different. He will admit that. But he also will admit that he had that choice to make, and he fell to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But what were you going to say?
So, like, I like the fact that you brought up... I like the fact that you brought up that once you're sober and you are faced with that choice...
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you're absolutely right.
He's
Then
been faced with that
it's
many times.
definitely a choice.
Yeah. And
And then, so there are a lot of situations in our life that mentally drive us to do things we probably shouldn't do or wouldn't normally do. Like, say you're down, you've had like a super shitty day, and or something's happened, like that's just super dramatic, edge of the fucking cliff. Like it's in your head, things are the worst they could possibly be.
You're just ever gonna make it.
And like all you want to do is just shut it off. You are faced with the choice of, do I turn to this thing that I know is going to take me down this path that I've been before?
For so long though.
Hold on. That's when the choice becomes very important. because now you're emotionally driven to something, and when you're emotionally driven, it sticks a lot harder. And so this is just all me talking from my own mind, not my own experience. I have zero experience. This is just me thinking, and like I used to want to be a psychologist, so
Right.
like I have to think about these things in certain ways, and so you're driven to that point of you make a choice. You're emotionally driven. So this is where your strength as a human being, as a person with a very cognitive mind, you have a consciousness. How strong is your consciousness and your will? That's the strength of being right there. Are you going to give in to the weakness of your addiction, or are you going to press on, move past whatever bullshit just drove you to that point anyways? And that's I think that's a strength of character right there.
Yeah.
And and you're either going to break or you're going to be stronger for it.
Well, and
that's where it's a choice.
It is. And there are people that are stronger, and there are people who can't handle that.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
So I asked you earlier, do you think I'm an alcoholic? And you went, I don't think I'm an alcoholic. Yes, I drink. Not a lot, but I do drink. But
I do think you turn to it
yes,
a lot.
there has been times, mainly since this job I've started and the stress that it's caused. Don't even, or we're gonna fight.
I think you turn to it a lot as a crutch for your feelings.
Yes.
I think there are times when it's not like that, but you don't know where to stop, or
No,
and you
I
don't
do know
you
where to
don't
stop.
realize how far along you are.
So
And I think a lot of people can agree with me on that.
I know who you're gonna say. I know you're not gonna say it, but I know who you're talking about.
I think I don't know. I think there are a lot of people that would agree that sometimes you don't realize how drunk you are.
First of all, don't say a lot of people, because that's upsetting. Because what
sorry.
I was about to say is, yes, I agree. There are times when I do fall to alcohol. And I don't even say, because that makes it sound like I'm an alcoholic, and I'm not.
You're not. No.
Because my life isn't revolved around it. I do know when to stop. I'm responsible still. There are to me, alcoholism is spending all your money away on
Oh, yeah.
alcohol and forgetting all your responsibilities and forgetting the people around you.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I've
not-
never
and I'm
once
not saying
fallen
you're
to
an
that.
I'm not saying you're an
that.
alcoholic.
Yes, there are nights when I don't have the kids and I do drink a little bit too much, and my emotions, I bottle them up and they come out. Yes, but I don't think I am addicted to alcohol like you're making it out.
No,
to
that's
be
not
like
what
I
I
am.
was saying at all.
Okay, good.
That's
So
not what I
me-
was saying at all.
'cause
I'm
don't-
saying you just don't know your limit with it.
Right. Yes and no. Yes and no.
Or you don't know when you've reached your limit with it, so therefore, and then you just keep going, and it's not exactly like an addiction problem. It's more along the line of just, I don't know, knowing when to stop.
I don't know. Like I said, I will agree somewhat, because yes, there are some times that I am stressed and I will want to drink, because that's when it's hard to pick, is addiction a disease or a choice, because things like alcohol and things like drugs can take away that pain.
Yeah.
That can numb that. But
It's a temporary solution.
you also have to have that choice and willingness to be stronger than,
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
because-
Absolutely.
yes.
In the end,
Hold
you
on.
don't need it.
No. Yes, I have drank when I've been down. But again, I fight through whatever I'm going through, and I'm still responsible. I still go to my
Yeah.
job. I still
Yeah.
take care of my kids, and I still take care of
Absolutely.
the house. I haven't fallen under that addiction category. So
No.
you can make that choice. Even when you are down and stressed,
No,
to max,
I'm saying
you
for those
can
who
make that
for
choice.
those who have been there in actual addiction.
And people want to use life like, some of what I've been through, how Michael treated me, how I had been raped, how I've been abused, all that. I could use that as an excuse, as most people do. Most people find something that happened to them in their life and be like, well, I'm this way because of this.
You don't use it as an excuse. You admit that that's part of what has shaped you into who you are today.
But what I'm saying is, that's what people do with addiction, is they use something in the past as an excuse as to why they are the way they are now. So that's what I'm saying is, I could have used any of those excuses. I've been raped. I've been abused. I've been torn down. Like, I could be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because of this, but I don't. I've chosen to be better than that. So again, that is my choice to be better than that. Which is, again, what are the comments saying?
Okay, so Amber's lighting up the comments.
Yeah, someone...
Big one. I believe it's a mental thing, Miranda. Just my opinion. It's loving that feeling and escaping your reality.
I agree.
And then you get sober and you're miserable and want to escape your mental health issues, not realizing the effects it's having. And that she says me. She says me, and like she's been through her struggles. I've been through. I was there for a lot of that, And she says it's triggers as well that you have to dodge.
And I get that. I mean, I do agree with that because Derek, again, my brother who's been a drug addict, has admitted he admits that he can't handle life. He can't handle that feeling. So he does do this to escape it, to numb all that. But at the same time, you also know what it's like to be sober. You know what it's like to not hurt yourself or the people who have supported you years and have poured all of their heart into you. It's your choice to not hurt them for that.
But I think she has a good point of then you're sober and you're miserable. It's learning to find yourself sober. It's learning to find out who you are sober.
And I agree with that because...
You get so wrapped up in who you are under the influence, under some form of state.
So I guess coming from my experiences, okay, so Derek's been sober a few times. So there's using drugs and then for like a week or two becoming sober and you're miserable, you're withdrawing, there's that kind of sober. But then there's sober where, so when Derek's in prison, he does a good job. He makes something of himself. He works his ass off. He gets involved with bands. He gets involved with speeches. He becomes something. He makes something of himself. So he knows what that good sober is. He knows he can achieve something. He knows there is positivity out of it. When he gets out here, he can make that positivity keep going, but he chooses to go back to that negative. So there is a difference between being sober for a long time and knowing that there is a good effect to it and being sober for so long that you can't handle reality. I don't know. But yeah.
Good discussion.
It is very good.
Really good discussion. Much more discussion than no offense, Tyler, but like I feel like we got a lot further in depth with this conversation than it could have with Tyler, because Tyler feels very strongly about the subject, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's just he has his point of view, and that's nothing's going to change his
Who knows
mind
if Tyler's watching
in that subject. He listens, especially if he's not
and I'm sure
on
he'll
it.
hear this. I do like debating with Tyler, but Tyler is that person that you're right.
No matter how much
he has his thought, and you can't change it.
Yeah, no matter how much he preaches to form your own opinion. I mean, yeah, I guess he doesn't ever like hinder that, but like as much as he has that opinion of debate me, like make me change my mind, there is none.
No, and he not very often, but there are times where he makes it seem like he makes you feel as if his choice is more superior than your choice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's why it's hard. That's why we got a lot farther, because
I feel like he's like that, and the things that he's like that with is through his own experience.
But again, you have to be a little bit more open, because I just shared an entire experience.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Oh shit, we got another comment. I think it comes down to the point where you want help, but you don't want to be put in that category. And you don't want to be the one everybody talks about in that manner, so you don't seek help and fall back into it. And as Blaine said, he was there for a lot of my shit and how my family is. Yeah.
And I do get that, but what about when you, like with
you hit
Derek,
that point where you're functioning normally?
No, with the help. You don't want to be that person who asks for help. So what about that person, Derek? I gave him that help. I came to him with that help. He didn't have to be that person who's down and asking for help. He knew he had help because I made it aware. That is why I stuck by him for so long and defended him and shut other people away.
Well, they have to want the help. They have to.
Yes.
They have to.
But he had that help. He didn't have to be like, oh, I'm this
they have to want it for themselves.
I'm this person who's gonna make your life miserable.
That's one thing I've always heard is like you have to want it for yourself.
And he will say that.
You can't. I mean, as bad as this sounds, you can't want it for your kids. You can't want it for your wife and your family and those around you.
And he will say that.
You have to want it for yourself. That's all I've ever heard. And you know, like I've stuck by that for my own problems.
Right, and he will say that. He will admit that he's got to want it. He's got to ask for himself, and I get that. But you know, and I still anymore. He like when I talked to him that day at my parents, he cried. I cried. We all cried.
Yeah.
Like, because I love him, and I still, even though he hurt me, will always stick by him.
Yeah, he's your brother.
Always defend him. Well, even if he is my brother, because Tanner will not defend him at all.
Yeah.
In Tanner's eyes, fuck you, you've done us wrong.
To be fair, Tanner's like that.
He is.
Tanner's just like that,
He is.
you know.
He is.
He has loyalty issues, I think.
He does. But as much as I can kick Derek's ass, I still, you know, I still see the struggle, I still see the problem, and I still feel like in the end, well, I don't want to say in the end everybody like that deserves somebody, because there are those people who are piece of shit and make it that. Like, there are those drug addicts who want to hurt others. And I don't think Derek intended to hurt others. So, but I don't want to say that all drug addicts don't need somebody or do need somebody, but there are those crappy ones that are out for only to gain stuff for themselves and to take from others. Derek never meant to hurt anybody. Derek never meant to take from people. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick Yoki. Welcome to the show. I think we're winding down at this point.
Are we? What time? What time is it?
7:12.
Yeah, kids will be coming back in.
Yeah. No, I again, like I was saying about Tyler, like he has great opinions, he has great views. Usually, more of them than not backed up by his own personal experience. But I think on the subject of addiction, and like I said a bit ago, like I have no experience with substance abuse, substance addiction. So the credibility of what I say is just however you want to take it. But I feel like I'm onto something with a lot of what I was saying. That's just my personal opinion.
I almost don't want to admit this, but I will admit it just because of this conversation. Well, I mean, you know, in my experience that, are you listening?
Yeah.
That medicines, painkillers, shit like that, don't work for me, so I usually take double the dose.
Yeah.
There have been times in the past that I have taken double the dose or triple the dose to feel, not to feel that pain or that high, but to help the pain, but it has caused me to feel that high. So yes, there have been times that I have been in that, I can feel that high presence. Like, I know what they're seeking, I know what they're wanting, but you don't see me seeking after that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, to be fair, it's just so hard for you to get there in the first place.
It is. Which is bad because
be very costly.
Derek's the same way.
Yeah.
The amount of drugs that's been in his system would have killed
So
him.
I guess there you go.
Else. But
you're both redheads, and you have like way higher tolerances than most people.
which fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Because when you're in pain, it sucks. But no. But I have been in that state where I felt that high, and it does feel good. It does. But coming off of it does not feel good. I never really had a withdrawal, but when you're coming off of something, like just with alcohol, you're coming out of a hangover. So I guess I just have a stronger, like, I don't want that feeling. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So Amber says, in my situation, I have Mike as the help and my crutch. But once you struggle in that situation, it's so hard to get out. My personal experience is that my mental health is just crazy, and I just can't escape it. I've reached for help only to have people in my life do me for taking the meds and throwing my illness in my face just to say I'm crazy. Dog me. Yeah, she has.
And I get that. And that's sad because there are people in our situation that don't have that support, like people like Derek had. Mm-hmm. There are those people that are looked at as
She says,
Crazy
y'all are
people.
the best. Way to touch on such a sticky topic and discuss it so gracefully. Thank you. No,
That's what we do. We do a good job.
She's right, though, in her personal experience. I mean, I haven't been there for all of it, but I have been the one on the outside, people talking about her.
Yeah.
She's probably just now finding this out of it. No, like, I've been on both sides where I'm like, it was just so back and forth with that family. In that family, it was like who's targeting who at like what day of the week, or depending on the day of the week, we were targeting a different person. And like I was always the person like I don't see it, and then like they'd talk to me enough, or I'd be like, and then I'd start seeing little things. I'm like, okay, yeah, and like it was either her or her mom or her dad, or it was just the flavor of the fucking week,
Right.
With and it's just the drama was just so insane. And I was always the one, like, it was the weirdest thing. I mean, that's just who I am. But like, if you're talking to me, like, I'm gonna talk to you like you're my best friend for the most part. So like, no matter how much shit someone would talk to me about her, I would like be like, yeah, she's fucking shitty right now. Like she's being super shitty. Fuck her. And then like and then she'd come hang out with me, and like that mentality would completely drop just without me even thinking about it.
This isn't a thing to like slam her, but drug addicts can make that like. No, I'm not saying she was manipulative.
Yeah,
but Derek.
To be fair, Amber, her entire family is super manipulative.
Okay, drug addicts, and specifically Derek, would be that way. They have a good way at making. Because I've been there where people are like,
yeah,
you hear this and you're like, yeah, fuck them, and then they're in your presence and you're like, oh no. They are very good at making them feel like they're the victim. I don't know if that was her case, but what I was going to say before that is, I'm only speaking from my experience. It sounds like her experience, she didn't have very many people supporting her, very many positivity.
No.
So there are people who...
It wears on you.
It does. And there are people who... like I said, I'm only speaking from my experience. Derek, being the drug addict, had that positivity, that support. So the only reason it hurts me as much is because he had that. Now, I'm sure there are people out there like her who didn't have that, who were seeking that, who maybe that's all they needed was positivity, that support, someone helping them get through that to make it much better. So, I mean, I'm just speaking from my experience.
Yeah.
So everyone's is different. And I'm not going to judge anybody based on, unless you were a piece of shit out to hurt people specifically. But she doesn't seem like that type.
No, she's
a
good person.
But that's just based on mine. So again, that's why I feel a little different on that, because I was one supporting a drug addict and I got hurt. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just talked a bunch of shit about the family, but I think despite all of that, I think out of all of them that I knew, only one person was like, I think, a shitty person at their core. Yeah. And that's just my opinion. I might be wrong about that. Amber probably knows who I'm talking about, but out of all of them, I think they were all just caught up in the drama, in each other's drama, and that just molded them.
It's so easy for people to do
that. Oh, yeah, and it just molded them, no matter how good one person was. I mean, they're all good people, save for this one person, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's our talk on addiction. It's crazy. It was a good discussion. I'm glad we had it. Might as well just go ahead and call it. Thank you for listening, and those that are watching and have been watching, thank you for watching and participating in the chat. If for any future watchers or listeners, always participate in the chat. It's so much fun. We always read the comments and engage with you as much as we can, as long as it's possible for us, Yes. So definitely tune in every Tuesday. We're live, and we talk to you. We talk to each other, and we talk to you. So she says, yes, spot on, Miranda, which is why I'm so happy you guys are talking about it. Yep.
I'm glad to.
So again, thank you for watching. Thank you for talking, and thank you for listening. This is Podcastrophe, episode 101. I've been Dick.
Miranda.
And please make every day a big Dick Day.
Love you too. Is that what it says?
Yeah, it says love you guys.
I think I can read. I saw the hearts and I saw love.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Say